Welcome back. We're writing Little Man Computer in C++, and last time we were kind of flailing around a bit trying to fake I/O in our tests so that we could handle a sequence of different inbox values to be used as input, and we kind of stalled with some errors, which we will have a look at, and hopefully we can find a way through. So here's the problem. The issue, I'm not 100% sure where it is, but it occurs when we create this virtual member. So if we have a look in here at the definition of input stream, one thing apparently we're supposed to do is that to make it clear that it is a pure virtual class, which I don't expect to have any impact on the error, although it seems to have rectified the problem. That's kind of interesting. I was somewhat half expecting the issue to be here. But this may still be the case now. I have a suspicion that there's going to be an issue here when we try and create a field of that is a pure virtual class type. So we're back up and running here. What we kind of want to do to enable this constructor to work is to be able to say this. We want to store a reference to an input stream, like so. And I suspect if we do this, we may get some issues, but let's have a look. So, constructor must explicitly instantiate that, which is fine for this constructor. Like so. But I have a suspicion we're going to get an issue with the other constructor in a moment. Let's handle this case first. So that's one constructor. So the other constructor must also do something with it. Now I don't know if we're allowed to do this. Something like that. Is that kind of against modern principles? I think it probably is, isn't it? So I guess one option here one option here is to have a real input stream. That's a terrible name, but we'll run with that for the moment and see if it works. And then we'll have to have our int next int with a real implementation. Doesn't matter for now. Can we do? I'm not sure if this is allowed in C++, but we will find out in a moment. No. So let's go all the way to the top of this. So unknown class name input stream. Did you mean? Okay, that's a good start. Let's at least fix that issue and see where that takes us. Real input stream cannot be defined in the result of a function. cannot be defined in the result of a function. Oh, I'm assuming this is because of the way we're passing it here. So can we do it? Isn't that, that's okay, isn't it? That's not in the way of anything. Can we perhaps say, I don't know if we can, but we're about to find out, equals real input stream. Hello, what's up? It's got the same error on the real input stream. Constructor can have a return type. Okay. Use of undeclared identifier computer. There's all sorts of problems here, and I would imagine they're all stemming from that. But let us see. So, must explicitly initialize. Okay, so let's go back to this mechanism. See if we're allowed to do that or not. Cannot bind to a temporary variable. Yep. And then obviously we've got an unused private field as well. So let's first just handle this. Maybe unused. Get rid of one of the error messages to clear things out of the way. We can't do that. So what can we do? Can we say we want to have a default constructor set fields, something to that. Let us see what people say. Thing one, thing two. Oh, that's not nice. Don't want to do that. Don't want to play with pointers. So this is the suggestion. But I don't think I can. Don't think I can do that. Can I just? Don't think this is going to work, is it? Can I do that? That's still going to be a temporary something or other. No. So we're going to have to do something like so let's get rid of that for a moment, and what if we were to make this a shared pointer instead? To Does that solve our problems? It will if I know how to use shared pointers. Right. So. Shared pointer as field in class. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. So, is there a shared pointer variant? Here we go. Shared pointer like that, and then we take a shared pointer as a parameter, and we can do make shared. Let's at least see where we go with that. What's going to? Oh, hello. A lot of errors there. No matching instructor. Okay, so what's the parameter to the constructor? Takes a shared pointer. So let's start by changing this one, which takes a shared pointer of that type. Don't know if that's what was intended. Out of line definition of little man does not match any declaration. Ah, yep, that's very true, because the constructor here is now wrong. So that's now lined up the constructors. So we're now passing the wrong type of parameter in our test, which sounds very reasonable. So how do we do this? How do we make this a shared? Make shared. So that's going to now be a shared pointer of type LMC input stream called input stream, and then we need to do make shared LMC input stream with, I mean, can we do that? I don't know if that's legal. Apparently we can't do that. So does that mean we have to do this? Lots and lots of errors. Instantiation of a function template requested here. Hello. That wasn't quite as expected. So, what's the issue here? make shared pointer pure abstract class. So do we do So what if we do that without the parameters? Looks somewhat yeah. Do I have to do the reset instead? I feel that okay, that's the issue. That should be real input stream, and then maybe we can do that. Use of undeclared identifier real input stream. Oh, of course. Fake input stream would be a better thing to create in this instance. So do we then have to do this? I'm assuming that's the constructor call. What does that think? Ooh, hello. Are we going to get any runtime issues? No, that passes. So we've created a shared pointer. Can we do... Does it not matter? How's your changing of the types there? Is that okay? That's fine. Okay, that's getting a little bit nearer. So that's good. That's good. So we've managed to jam in an input stream somehow. So we're getting a touch nearer. We have the shared input stream here. Don't know whether that's supposed to be a reference. I don't know whether that's const is correct, but I copied it from the internet, so it's probably going to ruin my program in some unknown manner. I wonder if that's an idiosyncrasy of form. If I were to write it like that instead, is that exactly the same? It looks like it's exactly the same. I think I'm more comfortable with that formulation. Let's go with that for now. So we're getting a little bit nearer. And here we have a look at the production code as well. Let's make that the same. Like so. So that's fine. So that's good. We want to then say So we need to tinker a little bit with the way our test code works in our fake input stream, so that we can say that int next equals 0. We can say return input values next plus plus, like so. Let's see if that's legal. Can probably tidy that up with a Q if that's a real type. But for now that'll get the job done, which means that we now have the fake input stream working. So we can just use the input stream in principle from our little man and make it run. So there's, I guess, a little something we want to do somewhere in here. So in the run instruction, this is probably not the right place for this, but we kind of just want to make it pass initially. Here we want to say if our input stream is not equal to a null pointer. I'm not sure if that's how you say that, but we'll go with it and then check it in a second. Then what we want to say is that the computer inbox equals input stream dot next int. This is a bit of a punt. We use arrows with that. This would be quite a remarkable pass if it does, and it does. that's completely ridiculous. So I would highly recommend not working this way in the real world. But much of this, so normally what you want to do is you want to write a test and then make it pass as quickly as possible, and then spend all of your time tidying things up. In this case, because we were kind of learning the fundamentals of C++ here at the same time, we had to spend a lot more time just getting legal syntax to make the test pass. If we had had full knowledge in advance of all of the nuance of this stuff, then it would have been much quicker to get to this stage. So I think that's okay as a mechanism. Let me just double check nothing failed there. That is okay, isn't it? So we now have this this fake input stream. Down here we have a real input stream, which at the moment just returns 42. Which I'm happy with for now, but I'm going to put a little to-do here that says make this use standard input and parse the string. So there's a couple of options for dealing with that. We might want to break out this a little bit so we can test it, but we're probably going to end up with just a very simplistic implementation here that is untested, in at least at this level of testing. And we'll be happy with that as a very light piece of code that doesn't really do much, but that's very difficult to test, and I think we might live with that for pragmatism. Other than that, I think we're okay. I'm not overly happy with this being out here. but for now it requires a substantial refactor to be able to do that check, or that inbox setup outside of this function, because this is the only place where we know we have an input instruction at this point. So I think I'm going to leave that for now, and this all looks fine as well. So as everything passes, I think I'm going to commit that and move onwards next time. Let's just have a quick look at this fake input stream. There's nothing clever going on here. I think that's fine. It might be preferable to use a queue and just pull off the end value. We'll have a think about that in the refactoring when we get to that, and I think this is all okay for now. Good. So in which case lots of little bits and pieces there just to make it work. There's not actually a huge amount of additional code. Most of it was a learning exercise there. So git commit add input stream for allowing multiple inbox values, preferably spelled correctly. Excellent, and we'll return to this next time.